Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the second half for The Walking Dead Season 9. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on the Dwight update from Austin Amelio. And possible spoiler warning if you guys are not caught up for The Walking Dead, which is up to the end of The Walking Dead Season 9's first half. So finally, got some new news for The Walking Dead, and like I've been saying recently, I will have more videos for you guys coming soon. Just that we're on a break. The first half of Season 9 was incredible, right? We all enjoyed it very much. And so, we'll have some new videos coming soon. Top 10s, top 5s, best episodes, that kind of stuff coming up pretty soon. As well as discussion topics and all the usual kind of stuff. So we won't do too many Fear the Walking Dead videos. I've done a few this last week because there was new news for Fear. If you missed those, you can check them out. They're in the channel right now for Fear the Walking Dead Season 5. But, The Walking Dead is still the main Walking Dead series. It'll be interesting to see how people look at it compared to the movie once we get closer to the movie release date, and which one people feel is like the main Walking Dead, considering Rick will be leading the movies, and then you'll have Daryl and Carol and Michonne and the others in the original canon Walking Dead series. So it's going to be different to see how people respond to those and what they think. So the link will be in the description to skybound.com for The Walking Dead, so you guys can go ahead and check it out. And it's an update from Austin Amelio about Dwight. So he, of course, played Dwight in the Walking Dead TV series. He was in the series from, let's say, what was it, the season 6, right? Because he was even there when he was kind of trying to escape. Always Accountable, right, was his first episode, and he was trying to escape the Saviors, and then he kind of got brought back, and then he wasn't able to get out again. He came in as kind of the main threat villain at the end of season 6 there, with Denise and Daryl and everything. And then we sort of saw him in season, a lot in the finale of season 6, season 7, and then season 8, a heavy concentration as well too. But so far, we have not seen him in The Walking Dead season 9's first half. So in the second half, we'll have to wait and see if he returns. We've seen some of the whispers so far. It doesn't look like Dwight is one of the whispers. That's one of the theories that's kind of been out there, that maybe he could be with the whispers or one of the whispers. And it doesn't seem like it so far, or at least we haven't seen that yet. Also, in the preview for the second half of this season, it doesn't look like any of the people that Alpha brought with her was Dwight. And also, Dwight would have information about those survivors, about the communities and everything like that. So the Whispers, they don't so far seem to be in the know. They seem to be just finding out about this group now. So as such, we could probably extrapolate from that Dwight is most likely not a Whisperer, and that he'll maybe come back in the series either second half of season 9 or season 10 or something, and it'll be, some other kind of group or something else that we're not currently aware of. So it says here that Dwight is still alive somewhere in The Walking Dead. So he is alive somewhere. And another fan theory is possibly Fear. Well, I don't know. There's quite a bit of distance in between the two. I would tend to think more of the original Walking Dead series, plus the original Walking Dead series could probably use him because their roster is a little shy right now. So I'm kind of expecting to see him back probably, if not in this back half of the season, then maybe season 10. It says 7.5 years have passed in The Walking Dead since we last saw Dwight. So in the Walking Dead universe, not in real world time. In the season 8 finale, Daryl told Negan's former savior leader to go find his wife and never return or he'll kill him. Dwight promptly returned to his old home and found a note from Sherry that read, "Honeymoon Forever." As optimistic as that was, 7.5 years is a lot of time in the zombie apocalypse. Is Dwight even still alive? So now we got the confirmation from Austin Amelio that he is in fact alive. He's not dead. He said, quote, he's not dead during the weekend Walker Stalker New Jersey panel via Insider. That's all I can say. He's alive. He's alive in the world somewhere. Amelio seemed confident in his answer, as if he knew something. So where is his character now? Well, I think where he said he was going to go to try and find his wife and just be a lonesome traveler on the road, Amelio said. So it's possible that he could be maybe somewhat similar to Daryl in that he might be out there on his own somewhere. We'll have to see if we'll see Sherry again in the series. Of course, that was his aim, was to go find Sherry. But I do believe the actress who plays Sherry's gotten other roles and other projects and stuff. So I would hope to see her back as well, too. It'd be cool if they could bring them both back in. But if they can't, then maybe they just bring Dwight in and Sherry is killed off screen or something. And we don't see that. Maybe Dwight returns out of necessity from starvation or something like this. And he decides he'd go back because he's either running low on supplies, running low on food. Or maybe, like I said, maybe he'll be with a different group that we're not familiar with yet. Then it says, in the comics, Dwight becomes the leader of the Saviors after the war and later runs Rick's militia in Alexandria. So with the Saviors wiped out in the show and Rick away to the helicopter community, any return for Dwight would be a brand new story. And then it says, quote, there's so many different ways you can go with him, Amelio said on the panel. There's the comic book. There's Sherry's story. There's me being with the Alexandrians. I have no idea. I have full faith in the writers. They do an awesome job, so I'm sure they bring me back in an incredible way. So that sounds really cool. Then it says there, according to Insider, when Walker Stalker Con host thanked Amelio and ex-Savior Jason Warner Smith for joining the panel, despite not being on The Walking Dead anymore. Amelio responded, we don't know if I'm off the show. Sounds like the question of Dwight returning to the show or some aspect of the Walking Dead universe isn't a matter of if, but when. And yeah, I would agree with that. I think it is a matter of when. I don't think, like, if The Walking Dead is going to continue for many more years to come, as AMC said it, they want it to, and they're expanding into all of these other, properties. Like, you have The Walking Dead, you have The Walking Dead movies, and you have Fear. So you have three TV-related series, or three different versions of The Walking Dead that are going to be coming up, of course, with currently 2 running, but then, of course, the movies in the next couple years coming out whenever they, are finished with that and everything. So you have 3 different versions of The Walking Dead. You have 32 episodes for the 2, and then the movie or movies in the future, maybe 1 movie a year in a couple years once they start. And, that is a lot of Walking Dead content. So characters like Dwight are going to be really important for them to have because, it's hard to make the audience care about new characters. The Walking Dead original series roster is smaller than we probably ever thought it would be. It's smaller than the comic book roster, I would say, in comparison to where they're at and where the others were at. We've had a lot of people leave. We've had, some characters be killed off maybe prematurely. We've had, like Corey Hawkins Heath, for example, for other projects and this kind of thing. So I think they need Dwight in the Walking Dead TV series. I think they need more characters like him. Any characters they can kind of bring back because they're doing so much now, it certainly makes a lot of sense. And also with Daryl at the forefront, it sort of gives Dwight, I feel like, a bit of a boost as well, too, because Rick being gone kind of has Daryl sort of up there fighting against Beta and meeting with Alpha and doing these things that in the comics Rick did. So, not the Beta fight, but the Alpha meeting and everything. And also, Jesus being killed off, just everything that's happened with the TV series. I think it's really important to have some marquee characters there that have been there for years, and Dwight is one that, especially when they want to mix in character deaths as well too, Dwight is one that they could really use a lot, and because Daryl is so, going to be so at the forefront now as well too, it sort of gives Dwight a bit of a boost as well. Just considering the situation. So leave a comment below in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about Dwight returning to the Walking Dead TV series, when you think it will happen, and how you think they will bring him back. The next one is an update about the scars, which we'll just do in this video. Link will also be in the description. Walking Dead veteran Michael Cudlitz, who directed 907 Abraham, right, told Business Insider that the audience, quote, the audience is going to find out what the X's are about. So the X scars that Michonne and Daryl have. But that is something that connects them all. Even though they're all separated right now, we're going to find out why. So we're going to find out what happened. So most likely based on the X's, something happened during the time skip. A villain or something, and they encountered, and it somehow brought all the groups together, but then something must have happened here, and maybe a minor villain that was kind of skipped over in the time skip. It says, showrunner Angela Kang also addressed the scars with Entertainment Weekly. Quote, they have obviously, in the 6 years that have passed, face some human foes that have affected the way people, or affected the way they deal with new people and their level of trust, Kang said, further connecting the scars to Michonne's sudden distrust of new people. It's definitely something that we'll learn more about as the year goes on. So she's pretty much confirming that in the back half we're going to see more with it. Cudlitz went on to say, quote, when we're dealing with Michonne, where she has separated herself from the Hilltop group and sort of isolated herself with just Alexandria, we're not exactly sure why. We'll find out later. A lot of it's tied to the X that we see on her back that we just revealed on Michonne's back. So now we see it on Daryl's back. So what's the story behind the scars? It's a really effed up story. It's a big, really effed up thing that happened during the 6-year time skip. At some point, we will find out about it. We will find out eventually what that is. It was bad, a effed up story indeed. Thankfully, fans won't have to wait long to discover what happened. So it sounds like pretty soon the back half will most likely see what villain or what happened during the time skip to where they were branded or cut with the X scars. And that does sound pretty dark, which kind of sounds cool. But yeah, there must have been a lot of stuff that happened during those 6 years. So it can't be like the death of Rick, or the supposed death of Rick, is just top of mind for everybody all the time, even 6 years later. It's probably always going to be there for Michonne and Daryl and some of the others, but there's other stuff that must have happened, in that time during the zombie apocalypse. We'll do a few questions for today, but not too many, just a few. Gatslick says, hey Trev, I'm still enjoying the show and love the new direction, but I always miss Rick and the storylines he would have gotten. How do you feel? So about Rick not having those certain storylines that Daryl is kind of getting and that the others are kind of doing instead? Well, it's definitely different from the comics. It's different from what we thought. But I guess for me personally, I'm just appreciative that they're doing the movies, that they're doing something with Rick, and it didn't have to end with him just being killed and having that be the finale for the series or the finale of, The Walking Dead, really. I'm glad they've kind of decided to do it the way they have, and I think it's the best case scenario. If you can't have him in the series, giving him something else to do, another project, and the movies trilogy to work on is going to be really cool. So I'm happy about it, and it kind of sucks to not see Rick in the canon Walking Dead series anymore, but eventually that was going to happen. You can't have every actor or everyone involved with every episode all the time for year after year after year after year when they're doing so much all the time. It's just not possible. So I appreciate they're doing the movies for us. Trebecca's Finest says, Trav Q&A, if you were a betting man, would you say that issue 200 of the Walking Dead comics will be bigger than issue 100? Because that's coming up soon. That's coming up in about, a little over a year or so, maybe like a year and a half or something. I haven't looked at the dates, but it's coming up fairly soon that they're going to get to issue 200, and you would think something big will happen in issue 200. And will it be bigger than issue 100? Probably not, I'd say. I don't think so, because that seemed to be in a lot of ways the peak for The Walking Dead, at least for the TV series. It certainly was, which is the season 7 premiere. So issue 200 will probably be pretty big, but I don't know if it'll be as big as issue 100. John C. says, if The Simpsons can keep going, so can The Walking Dead. And yeah, I think so too, at least for a little while longer, and then we'll have to see in a few years, how many people are still interested in it. But, I'm happy that it's continuing on and it's still going, even though it has been about a decade. Shows like this are a lot more difficult to do, I think, than something like The Simpsons, which, it being a comedy series, episodic type of, or just kind of a silly fun type of cartoon series where they can kind of do anything and the characters never age and this kind of stuff, or at least I don't think they have, right? And Simpsons pretty much the same as it's, well, maybe not exactly the same, different writers and different people involved. And even with that, too, you have people that may have worked on that show for a long time and then you totally switch out, almost entirely over the years, right? But yeah, man, here's to hoping The Walking Dead will go on for at least a few more years. Jay Morris, the review guy, says, Trev, how do you stay motivated and dedicated to doing the videos for us and everything and watching The Walking Dead? Well, with the videos and everything with the channel, I love doing it with you guys. It is a lot of fun to do these discussion videos with you guys. I'm somebody who I've always loved to do that, even in high school and some of that. Talk about different like the X-Men movies when they first started, or comic book stuff when it was coming out, and you started to see the first kind of 90s comic book movies for a lot of the different franchises, comic book franchises they were doing. So I've always kind of enjoyed doing that. I've always appreciated it, and I do really, really enjoy The Walking Dead a lot. So it's not difficult to do these with you guys because it's a lot of fun, and the series has been so much fun over the years that I really look forward to it. I really it's easy for me to do it with you guys when it comes to that. Sometimes if it comes to other series like Under the Dome, sometimes that was difficult to do all reviews for all the time because some of the stuff is not the best quality. But I feel like The Walking Dead is almost always really good quality, very very high quality usually. Even though people try to kind of paint the picture that it's not. I think it is. I think it's very good quality, especially for zombie apocalypse stuff. And the last one will be from Mr. President Donald Trump, who says, is Judith the only person to fire a gun since the 6-year time jump? Everybody else is out of bullets. I support the Second Amendment. It will bring firearms back to The Walking Dead and every home and school in the United States. Make America great again. So that's funny. So I like the roleplay comment. But with Judith being the only one who's kind of fired a gun off so far, that's true. In the comic book series, they kind of always had guns, I think, because Eugene was producing the bullets and everything. And in the TV series, they haven't really kept up with that, or at least from what we've seen so far. He might start to produce bullets again after they've encountered the Whisperers now, which will give them a huge advantage because it doesn't seem like the Whisperers have a whole lot of firearms. But maybe they won't go that route. Maybe it would be difficult in reality to do that, to produce bullets like that, especially when you're out of almost all of your supplies, like electricity and everything like that. Would be difficult to run and everything. So yeah, man. In the TV series version, I guess they're going for more of kind of an old school Western, they've said a lot of times, or kind of a medieval type of approach with you have your bows and arrows, your knives, your swords, your close hand-to-hand weapons, without as many actual firearm weapons, which is cool. It's different. It's different from what we're used to for Walking Dead. And for Whisperers, it makes it even more scary because now you can't just shoot them. You have to actually like hand-to-hand fight against them or shoot them with an arrow or something. So it's a bit different. That'll be it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about that, Dwight returning, and of course the X-Scars updates. If you like this video, thumb it up, share favorite, and if you're new, subscribe to the bottom left. And thank you guys all for subscribing. Appreciate all your guys' support. Happy holidays, guys. I'll see you again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. See you guys soon.